Okay, it's day 528 off the grid, and the second day in Nelson, well, the first full day really, but I guess day 2. Technically though, it's day 1 because we didn't arrive till after midnight last night, but yeah, I don't know, whatever. How many days before the solstice now? Wow. 5 days. 5 days until the solstice, the winter solstice. But today, of course, we wasted no time in going out and checking out the recycle centre, the dump shop, looking to find some cool goodies, and owing to lack of space in the car, I can't really be hauling back mountains of junk. I was trying to sort of only purchase compelling purchases, and well, this is probably the most compelling purchase that I've found, because this is something that I totally need at the moment. This is a Arlec compact countdown time switch, and although it was from the dump shop, it's actually in fact new in box, as it were, but as you can see, it's very, very old. The packaging has become all discoloured and yellowed and stuff, and looks like it's had some rodent action here, maybe, or maybe it's just the breaking down and abrasion or something. So here, broken. And the other clue that it's so old is the fact that the pins here of the New Zealand standard mains plug, which should be up that way of course, have got no sleeving on them at all. So no sleeving. They're yeah, the pins on the New Zealand standard mains plug have got no sleeving at all, which indicates that this was made and marketed quite some time ago. But it's exactly what I've been looking for, because I've been wanting a timer to control the transfer charge from the B shed through to the A shed from one 24 volt system to the other. And I do that using the C-Tech DC to DC battery charger. At the moment I just go into the B shed and flip on a breaker, and then try and remember to come back in a certain period of time and turn it off. That amount of time I sort of make a decision on how much time I'm going to leave it for, depending on how much charge the A batteries, well, the batteries in the A shed need, and also how much charge I think the batteries in the B shed have actually got. So I kind of just make a rough guesstimation on time, and you know, I might give them an hour, I might give them more, I might give them less, or whatever. And then I come back and turn it off. But there have been a couple of times where I've forgotten and I've totally caned the batteries in the B shed. So countdown timer seems like an idea. Yeah, I could build one. I'll build one out of electronics, but I've kind of been wanting for some reason to use a mechanical time switch. I don't know why. Just because of the versatility of setting the time, I guess, because I can do it for different times, and they're really, really hard to find. You go into like Bunnings or Mitre 10 Mega or something, and they just don't seem to sell them. They've got like the world's supply of various combinations of time controlled switches, but no countdown timers on offer at the moment. There's one on Trade Me, but it's about $18, and I thought, well, I could get a better deal than that. I guess that's why I've held off buying it. It's getting ready to buy it though, because I kind of would like to have it soon. But then today at the dump shop I found this one. Yeah, cool. It goes up to 2 hours, which is ideal, because I would unlikely want to set the battery for more than 2 hours, because let's face it, if there was enough charge in this battery to feed into the other battery for more than 2 hours, then I probably wouldn't need to charge the other battery anyway, because there would have been heaps of sun. So 2 hours maximum's ideal for me, and yeah, it's mains powered, which is cool, because I have a nice meaty mains powered contactor relay which I can use to switch the 24 volts DC. I know it's a bit of a round robin using a mains to switch low voltage as opposed to low voltage to switch high voltage, but in this situation it will work quite well. So that was my thing today. Did a few more things in there. I got the guitar ready for the recording that we're doing on the eve of the solstice. I found one of my old guitars here that's in the car shed in Nelson, and I've restrung it for pentatune with 4 strings on it, tuned G, D, A, E, or G flat, D flat, A flat and E flat, because we always tune down. And dug out some, well, an old ghetto blaster, or grandpops really, that we're using for our speakers basically, because we didn't bring any down with us. But I'm not going to show any of that now, because that's kind of a film the equipment setup video, which we'll come to in time. At the moment it's all about this time switch, so kind of made this video of it. As you can see, packaged. I'm going to unpack it now. I'm just going to plug it in and give it a test and make sure it does actually work. But you know, such an old item still in your box, kind of interesting really. So see how we go. Well, as they say, there is no such thing as a free lunch. Okay, yeah, the timer probably cost me about $1 from the dump shop, but when I took it out of the packet, it did not work. I plugged it in and nothing happened. After carefully examining the packaging, I found no trace that someone had resealed a bung timer up into the case, so my conclusion is that in the time that it's been sort of just lying around in places before it made its way to the dump shop, it's obviously been knocked around a bit, dropped, whatever, kicked, had things piled on top of it, and it had caused some of the mechanism inside to be pushed out of alignment. So I opened it up and found that the toggle that operates the switch was actually out of alignment, and I fixed that, but not before spilling out the entire gear train onto the bed and having to rebuild that back in, which amazingly I was able to do that. A couple of mistakes, but I figured it out pretty quickly and figured out how the toggle switch works with its actuator, and seems to be working. So we're just doing a 10-minute soak test now, and that's about to come to an end. So if all is well, it should click off in how long, Amon?
7 minutes. No, it's going to go 8 minutes.
8 minutes. So in 2 minutes time it should click off, we're hoping.
Let me check the scale.
Okay, you're going to check the scale.
Oh, it's very close to 0.
Is it? It's very close to 0. Well, that's where it should be. So yeah, it seems to be working. So it's basically just a little synchronous motor which drives a worm drive, which then drives another worm drive, then drives a stack of gears, which finally turns this dial around, and that dial's got a, I guess you could call it a pawl on it or something like that, basically a pin.
I'll say scale has turned when it just...
Yeah, the scale turns. Yeah,
when the scale it clicks, I'll say scale turns fully.
Yeah, and that comes around and just activates the little cam, and then boom, toggles the switch. But yeah, that was the fault, that one half of the toggle switch had fallen off its mounts, probably from just being shaken around or knocked around. So putting that back on and all seems hunky-dory.
Until the scale turns fully, you can stop it.
I can stop the video when
Scale turns fully.
When the click goes click and the light goes out. I'm not going to film the light, but we'll see the light go out on the film. So how many more minutes, Amon?
9.
9 minutes. Okay, so in the next minute or so it's going to happen. There we go.
Scale has turned fully.
Okay, what's the time now?
Didn't go to 10.
Okay, so we're 9 minutes 45. Well, that's not bad.
That's alright.
That's pretty good. So, yep, that's a pleasing result. There we go on day 528 off the grid, and it's bedtime now, and start our second full day in Nelson tomorrow. Right.